All right, welcome to the Trevor and Carrie shower video. Trevor, I'm going to ask you a list of questions, and then in real life at the shower, when we're watching this, I'm going to pause it and see if Carrie can predict your answers, okay?
Okay, great.
So, question number 1. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Okay, so when I was a kid, as the giant nerd that I am, I wanted to be a statistician.
Like what age?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on what age I was at as a kid when you define that, but I would say probably in middle school. That's when I decided I wanted to work with numbers.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was good at math.
That's awesome.
So,
Always good at math. Okay. Next question. What was your favorite toy as a kid?
So this is an embarrassing thing. My mom bought me a stocking stuffer when I was young, and I was obsessed with football. So the NFL was a 32 pack of all the NFL team. It was pencils, a 32 pack of pencils. Each one had an NFL team on it, and for some reason, my child mind gravitated towards these pencils, and so that is the answer. It would be these most ridiculous childhood toy of all time. But
so great.
NFL pencils. I also liked Hot Wheels, but I liked my pencils
The
more.
NFL pencils take the cake.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Number 3. What is your favorite restaurant?
Yeah, I think this has changed since Carrie and I started dating, because now it's our favorite restaurant and my favorite restaurant, and that has to be Korean Garden.
What is your favorite dessert?
So this is a trick question, because she would expect me to say, I don't eat desserts. But if you twisted my arm, I would say just anything with peanut butter in it. And so Carrie makes a really nice peanut butter pie that I really enjoy. Okay. And so I would say that's my favorite.
When you eat dessert.
Yes, if I have to eat dessert, yes, that is what I would prefer.
Okay, what was your first job? And you can define that however you want.
Okay,
like,
well,
when
yeah,
you're young.
I guess so. So under the table pay, I mowed lawns as a teenager, but when I was old enough to actually get a pay stub, and it was as a food, what is the word? I can't remember. Food service person at a water park in Somerville, Whirling Waters. I was 15 years old, and I was a food server / cashier.
Like at the bar, or not the bar. I can't think of
the
food, snack bar.
Yeah, like I was like the food area, like the kitchen with burgers and stuff. Or there were satellite stations with like ice cream and stuff. And so I got burned a lot that summer.
Oh gosh.
I learned a lot about sunscreen application.
Important life lessons.
Yes.
Okay, number 6. What is your favorite game?
Game. Okay, so I love games. My favorite game, it's been a love of mine since high school, is Texas Hold'em.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so I love the poker chips. I love the strategy. I love the fact that people are around a table conversing and playing together. So it's a and I like winning. I'm good at it. That's another factor. So that's my
perfect.
Favorite.
Yes. Okay. What is the first thing that you noticed about Carrie?
Other than her hair, which is magnificent, I would say in our first conversations there was a warmth about her and an intentionality that it wasn't. Normally you run into people and it's like small talk and it's really disingenuine, or maybe not disingenuine, but there's like a lacking of intentionality there. And I think whenever we had our first conversations, it was like, oh, she's engaged and she cares, and she's not just going through the motions of getting to know somebody. And so I think there was just a warmth there about her that attracted me to wanting to know her better.
That's great. So, where was your first date? What did you guys do?
Yeah, first date was at Michael's Cafe and Catering on Main Street. It was a Sunday. I think it was October 16th.
Oh, look at you knowing the date.
2016.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, it was a Sunday after, I think she was getting out of the 11:15 gathering. And so we met up after that and had lunch. And funny thing about that, though, was Marcus knew we were going on that date, and we'd been hanging out with him a good bit. And so him and my then housemate, William Reed, as well, were like hanging out across the street. We were walking up and down Main Street. We saw them. We were like at the window. Our table was up against the window, and we saw them walking by.
That is awesome.
Because Marcus was like, "I'm a spy on y'all."
Did she understand that he was spying?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I warned her that might happen. I didn't think he would actually do it, but so that was our first date. We grabbed lunch.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I think we went to the river walk right after that and walked around a bit.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
This is kind of a hard question because it could be up for interpretation whether as friends or dating. But what is the first movie you watched together?
Yeah. This is a funny one because I don't really know. I know we watched a lot of Grand Hotel together. That's how we met. And so I think movie-wise, it might have been Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie,
right.
Potentially. I think that would be my best guess as
Okay.
to the first movie we watched together.
Okay. And that was after you were dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had, I think, it was in that gray area of dating and then,
going on dates.
I can't remember when we exactly watched. I got it for her for Christmas.
Okay.
So,
Sometime.
yeah, it was around that time.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite meal that Carrie prepares?
Yeah, I think this one's, she'll get this one. It's Milanese.
Oh, nice.
It's a great dish. She's very good at making it.
All right, next question. 11 out of 15. We're moving on. This is, again, kind of could be up for some interpretation, but when and how exactly did you start dating?
Yeah, so this might be a slightly longer
answer.
Yeah,
go
so yeah, she started coming over to the Abbeville house to watch the show I mentioned earlier, Grand Hotel, which is a Spanish drama with Marcus Richardson. And yeah, so it was on Thursday nights, and I had just moved into the house, and being an introvert, not wanting to be the weird guy who's just always up in his room, I decided that I was going to just join communal things, and so not knowing a lick of Spanish, but yeah,
were there subtitles?
Them. Yes, there were subtitles.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I was pretty good at guessing what was going on anyway. So, but yeah, so we started watching that show together on a weekly basis. So that's how we kind of got to get to know each other. And thankfully, Marcus was late many evenings
Nice.
for work purposes, and so that gave us opportunities to just talk. And after I guess maybe a month and a half or 2 months of that, I worked up the courage to ask her out on a date, and yeah, that was that.
The rest is history, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah, that's right.
Nice. All right. What is your favorite thing about Carrie?
Yeah, I think this is almost a duplicate of a previous answer, but while it was the first thing I noticed about her, it's also the thing I think is one of her best traits, and it's that warmth that she has. She's just such an intentional person who reaches out to people and includes them in things, and has such a heart for I think just inclusion, and so that's something that I really, really appreciate about her, and is one of her best qualities.
I think many people in the room listening to this will agree with that. So what do you think is Carrie's favorite thing about you?
Yeah, I would say, I think she says this a lot. It's my, I guess my steadiness, where, yeah, I don't know, not a lot flusters me, and so I think that's something that she appreciates when it comes to just general life things, that I don't overreact, and sometimes I feel like that's a problem, but I guess I'm glad that I'm pretty sure she finds that a pretty good quality of mine. So.
And probably helps balance out.
I suppose so.
That's great. Okay, so we will not ask the flip side of this question, but what would Carrie say is your most annoying habit?
Yeah, I know this one.
Quick answer.
I wonder if she knows this one. I don't know. I don't interpret it as my least I think it's one of my stronger traits, but it's my ability to come up with puns. I think she just doesn't have a full appreciation of it yet. One day, I hope
it will grow.
Yeah, I hope that she will. But yeah, I would say puns is her least, the most annoying trait that I have.
That's amazing. But you consider it to be one of your best.
Yeah,
qualities.
I mean, look at our wedding website name.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is from
the pun brain.
Yeah, my proficiency with puns.
That's amazing. And we do all appreciate the wedding website. It's amazing. Okay, so the last question, which is the most sort of intentional and deep. When did you know that it was love and that you wanted to marry Carrie?
Yeah, so I don't think that it was one singular moment, but it was a building over the course of time of us dating, starting the biggest leap being our trip to Harrisburg to see her family. I think that gave us the first time where we were away from Columbia and actually got to spend days together rather than just date night or just sporadically seeing each other throughout the week. And so that really solidified that, this is something that I could see happening for real. And then after that, she went immediately to a 2-week trip in Europe, which, made me go from like having a lot of her to having none of her, or very little. The communication wasn't great for that time. And so yeah, having that like absence also kind of made me reflect on the importance of our relationship to me. And then even in the months after that, before I actually proposed, I think it was just like a deepening of, having more, conversations going towards marriage. And so just seeing how, see, this is another thing. Maybe I should have put rambling as an annoying trait of mine.
No, this is great. Are you kidding me?
So,
I'm sure everyone is eating this up right now.
Oh, sure. But yeah, so I think, it was just over that course of time, just seeing her in community and meeting the people that she knows and are closest to, and just getting to see more sides of her, and not ever, wanting to pull back from that. I think that was something that was important, and I think that's when I knew it was love, and at that point, that's when I started getting the wheels in motion for
buying a ring.
where we're at now. Yeah, that's right. And so, I don't know if hopefully that roundabout answered the question.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's so perfect.
But yeah, so you can ask her about more of the details with the love part and all that. She's probably got some good things to tell about that. So
I think she'll have a pretty similar answer, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks for answering these questions. It's very helpful.
Of course, yeah.
All of us watching totally appreciate it. So
yeah,
thanks.
Hope you all are having a good time.